Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my studio. Today we paint Kritza, a vampire rat prince. All the vampires here in my channel were all commissioned by Geekolodian Studios. In this video, I'll be sharing my vampire pale skin recipe and also my special paint for vampire skin. Also, this format, the video format and the editing will be the style for December at least, and do give the video a thumbs up if you like the format. Since this is a commission work, we're using paints that I'm most familiar with and also paints that are very opaque. I've adapted the Sergio Calvo painting process in which he paints the base color really nicely before layering nice colors on top of that. So basically, not much glazing in this video. Although I've adapted the Sergio Calvo painting process, which is painting the bases really nicely, I kinda paint my bases really dark. I use almost the shadow color of the base colors. If any beginner painter is watching this video, it's a good guideline to paint the bottom layer first. Like for example, paint the groundwork before you paint the rat tails, because it's easier to correct mistakes if you paint on top of the previous layer or the bottom layer. Now we paint the skin of the vampire. I start with frozen flesh. Frozen flesh is a dark purple-ish gray color, which is really nice. And then we layer cold flesh on top of the frozen flesh. Cold flesh is like a bluish gray color, which is also a bit dark. It's actually our base color. Now for the highlights of the vampire skin, we add a bit of life to the vampire by painting highlight skin. It's a bit warmer. We're not using silver gray or wolf gray for the highlights because we want to add a bit of like warmness to the skin. No blending at this point. You just paint or sketch the highlight skin, and then after that we use our special paint, which is white glaze. White glaze is even easier to use than white paint mixed with glaze medium or matte medium, and it has a very consistency similar to normal colors, which means it's easier to use because we're so used to using normal paint consistency. Notice that I kinda apply the highlights or the lighter color sometimes with a smaller brush, because the smaller brush tend to force me to paint with like tiny strokes instead of one like big stroke which is smooth, because I like painting the tiny strokes as highlights because they kind of produce a very nice stippled texture. Don't use a super small brush though, because the paint will dry on the tip of that brush. I'm using a red grass 00 brush. You could also use number 0 or size 0 brushes, but never too small or smaller than those. Usually I mix ivory or ice yellow to create highlight colors, but this time we're like mixing sunny skin tone, which is a warm flesh tone color, because we don't want very vibrant highlight colors. I don't want very vibrant colors here, so no very striking, like very light colors, because I want the face of the vampire to be the lightest part of the model. So unlike the stippling motion that we created, or stippling texture that we created on the cloak and the red part of the model, we're going to paint the rat fur in swift straight strokes so that we create a fur-like texture. Now we paint the gold and the silver or steel NMM, but I'm not going to focus on that on this video because I will put up a separate video specifically for NMM. Now we paint the black parts. We're using dark sea gray, field blue, and wolf gray for the highlights, basically bluish grays, so that we have a contrast in terms of the warm red part of the clothes and the warm cloak and the warm groundwork. So since we want contrast with different elements of the model, we're keeping like the black parts really cool. The Japanese uniform paint is really great for gold NMM. It's even more opaque than scrofulous brown. Now we paint more highlights to the rat fur. We use medium gray, stone gray, and deck tan. Similar to the other parts of the model, the highlights of the rat fur won't be too light or too vibrant because again, we want the face of the vampire to be the lightest part of the model. Pardon in advance because I can't record on camera the painting of the details and the extreme highlights because I paint those details like this. So, kidding aside, I highly recommend that you have a collection of highlight colors: deck tan, silver gray, ice yellow, ivory, white glaze, sunny skin tone, because it will make your painting more efficient. I also use a couple of inks mixed with glaze medium for the shadows for finishing touches. We're done. I also know that you hate photo slideshows for finished like work, so I recorded this on video. It's kinda sloppy, but I hope you like it. So that's it. The main special paint for this video is the white glaze. It's perfect for NMM, creating very nice smooth highlights and transitions. It's also perfect for vampire skin. That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos! Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. I'm an affiliate painter for Redgrass Games and also the head mecha and sci-fi painter for Vallejos Colors. I write painting articles for Fanscale Modular Magazine. I also write articles for Fantasy Figures International Magazine. Lastly, if you're into Gunpla, do use my discount code for usagundamstore.com. Links down below.